So basically tonight we're going to discuss there is a very interesting discussion. The Rambam does not clearly mention
one page each one,
that there is a Teshuva, one page, that there is a mitzvah of Teshuva. There is, we know the Torah says in Parshas Nosei, V'isvadu es chatosam, that you have to do vidui, svadu, you have to do vidui.
You have to say the vidui.
Say a vidui, when you do an aveda, you have to say it with your mouth. Chatanu l'fanecha, chatasi, avisi, pashaiti. You have to say what you did the aveda for. Mitzvah vidui. So the Rambam mentions that there's a mitzvah vidui. However, the Rambam, for some strange reason, doesn't mention Teshuva as a mitzvah. Furthermore, in his count of the Taryag mitzvahs, he doesn't count Teshuva as one of the mitzvahs.
And the smag?
No, it does vid.
Smag also not. Smag also.
yes.
Even though the Torah said beferish, what does it mean?
Vidui. No, they count vidui with svadu. The vidui they count, but the concept of Teshuva.
Well, the word tshuva doesn't say it.
The fact that you have to say it with your mouth, confess with your mouth for the Eibishter, that's the Raisa.
The word tshuva doesn't mention the Torah.
No. The word Teshuva doesn't mention. There are actually some Goinim that don't even mention, some don't even mention Vidui. Vidui is a mitzvah. But we're dealing with the Shitas that mention Vidui, but they don't mention Teshuva. So the question is why? So tonight we're going to see a few explanations. And this Sikha the Rebbe brings together a few of the explanations, but we'll also see some other. We'll also learn about some other explanations. Let's take a look. Kosav Rambam, the Rambam writes the Sefer Mitzvah. The Rambam has a number of svarim. He has his Mishnah Torah, and the Rambam has the Sefer Mitzvahs, so he has all the Taryag mitzvahs. So he writes in the Sefer Mitzvahs, Shetzivano lihisvadis alavoines, v'achatoim shechatanu l'fnei hakel, v'loimer oisim imatshuva. A person has to confess the avedis which he did when he does tshuva.
If he doesn't confess, he doesn't consider as a tshuva. You just bring the korban.
What happens if he does tshuva and he doesn't do vidui? He didn't do the mitzvah. He didn't do mitzvah. He has to do vidui. Zoa vidui, v'hu amrei v'svadus chatos v'rechota. This is what it says in Torah. Parshas Nasi v'svadus chatos v'rechota. V'yidu ha'shayla. It's one of the question. Lamalei mana Rambam mina mitzvah mitzvah vidui. No mitzvah tshuva. The Rambam in his Taryag mitzvah, we just read Sefer mitzvahs of the Rambam, discusses the mitzvah vidui as one of the Taryag mitzvahs. There is no separate mitzvah for the mitzvah of tshuva. Mitzino is a gimel b'yorim. We find three explanations in this. The first sheet is a very interesting sheet. Before we read it inside, we'll say it outside. The Minchas Chinuch is a pirush on the Chinuch, the Sefer Chinuch of the Ra'ah, Rav Aaron Levi, one of the Rishonim, who wrote a Sefer Chinuch of all the mitzvahs. He wanted to write it. He wanted people on the Shabbos table should discuss the mitzvahs, so he wrote it in a simple way, and easy to read, and he wrote with the reasons behind the mitzvahs. And he wanted people should learn with their children. So the Minchas Chinuch wrote a gewaltige Landische Sefer on it. Minchas Chinuch lived around a little over 100 years ago.
You know who he was, right?
Minchas Chinuch's name was Babad, and the Babads today, our family, all come. The Babad Hechsher, the Babads that you have in Borough Park, the Rabbanim come from. They're either one family, the Babad, one of the Rabbanim is an Enukol, the other one's a nephew. A family of nephew.
His family.
His family, yeah. Now, he was a Chassidisha. He had a very big Shaykhis to Chassidim, the Minchas Chinuch.
The Rabbi Babad give here a Echsherim. He's related to?
Yeah.
Family.
So one of them is, there are two Rabbabads I think that have Achsherim, and one of them is a great-great-grandchild, the other one's a great-great-nephew. But it's going back a while. So the Minchas Chinuch has a very novel way of understanding this Rambam. He says, there is no mitzvah tshuva. There's no mitzvah tshuva. The mitzvah is that when you do tshuva, you should do vidui. The Torah tells you when you do tshuva, how should you do tshuva? Do it with vidui. But tshuva itself is not a mitzvah for itself.
Because according to him, probably could be a person that he didn't make Aveira, so why should he make tshuva? He didn't make any Aveira, Avrom Avinu, Atzadik. He didn't make Aveira, why should he make tshuva?
So,
And why do you
Maisa,
make tshuva?
And what?
And why do you make tshuva?
Exactly.
so Maisa, he says, example, he gives an example. A get, a getishin. There's no mitzvah
To give again.
to give a get, just if someone gives a get, wants to so this is the way how you make a getishin. That's the way you make a get. Same thing says, the Torah does not tell you have to do tshuva. When a person will come and do tshuva, this is how you should do with a vidui. He doesn't explain why. He just says that's what the fact of what we see in the Rambam is not mentioning it. But it's very difficult, obviously. It comes out of a big pella. There's no mitzvah tshuva. I mean, this is very strange. You know, tshuva is such an important thing. There's no mitzvah tshuva. Just if you do tshuva, you should do vidui. But you don't have to do tshuva. If you don't do tshuva and vidui, you're not missing any problem your whole life. No problems. Very strange, right? You're over the Aveira anyways, by the way, if someone didn't do if someone didn't put on tefillin. They're over the Aveira of not putting on tefillin. But they have no separate mitzvah of tshuva. That's what Minchas Chinuch learns. Let's take a look inside. Aleph. Shitas Minchas Chinuch. Tshuva ain't a mitzvah. Tshuva is not a mitzvah. Mitzvah say zu de vidi have keharbi mitzvah yagver. The mitzvah vidi is like many other mitzvahs. She'ein a mitzvah lases or sheloi lases. It's not a mitzvah to do or not to do. Just if you do it, this is a mitzvah. Din Torah. You have a chiv to have the Din Torah. All the dinim of mishpatim, elo mishpatim, how people have to have when they have an argument with each other. What do you do in different disagreements?
You don't have to have it.
Right? If you have, this is how you have to deal with it. Same thing too. The dinim mitzvah yasakach yikach have a mitzvah. Hachanami the Torah amra. So to over here, yasa tshuva yalter kach l'svadas. Then you have to do vidui. So v'kach, and when you do that, shavasam v'kabelas, your tshuva is accepted. Avol einim avatel shum mitzvah minay tshuva. According to the Rambam, is medayik the Minchas Chinuch. You're not mavatel any mitzvah. You don't do tshuva because there ain't a mitzvah klal. Like megedishim v'hadoyim and the similar. Shatoyra kos v'dini ha mitzvah im yirtzeh. If you want to have a avonis mechuper, you want to have a olam haba. You will not gain in Gehenna. So you have a way out. Do tshuva, but you're not forced to do tshuva.
Shuva Yisrael, Ad Hashem Elokecha. It's a pasuk in Tanakh. Shuva Yisrael.
Yisrael has a good kasha, a pasuk.
No, but it's not in the Torah.
Maybe it's also described.
Not in the Torah. It's a Tanakh. Yeah, it's a Tanakh.
Tanakh is not the Torah. Same thing.
But as a Taryag mitzvah, there's no question about it that tshuva is considered something very important and vital. But the question is, can we count it within the 613 mitzvahs of the Torah?
To me, this whole thing sounds like ridiculous logic, because it's like if you're confessing that you sinned, so that means that you
You do a mitzvah.
repent that you sinned from the sin. And
Exactly.
You did.
He's right. No,
You're right. You repent of your sin.
No, what he's saying is that now you start doing the kind of mitzvah that you have did Aveira on. Those if a person had sinas chinim chas v'shalom, right? The Torah says ve'after l'recha k'moicha. Now a person chas v'shalom has sinas chinim. The minute he does tshuva, he's mekayim again the Torah. So tshuva really is a tikkun. Is going back. In other words, it's silly to say it's a separate mitzvah, because once you start doing the new thing, you're being mekayim again the Torah.
So that's a shayla. Shayla, is there an independent mitzvah, or is it just you have to keep the Torah is telling you to put on tefillin? You're not putting on tefillin.
Well, I'm saying, why would you need an independent mitzvah to tell you to love another yid?
So somebody sinned, and he does not do teshuva from the sin, but he's just saying the vidui with his mouth.
No, he doesn't have to say vidui. According to the Minchas Chinuch, he only needs to say the vidui if he did tshuva. You don't have to do tshuva. Your whole life, no vidui, no tshuva.
So a person can consider.
You'll get punished. You'll get punished on Maila, but you have no mitzvah. You're not being over.
So that look.
Doesn't make any sense, because you're being every second you're not doing a mitzvah, you're doing
getting
a
from sublime to ridiculous to sublime. That you can sin and you don't have to do the shuva, and you'll get punished. So what? Big deal. You get punished.
No, you didn't keep mitzvahs in the Torah, but you didn't keep some of the mitzvahs in the Torah. but we're not also mitzvah of tshuva.
It's tzedakah numerated.
Listen, the minchas chinuch is a big pella. There's nothing to discuss. You're right. It's a big pella. It's a very big pella. You're saying mitzvah not a tshuva by us. Tshuva is part of our munah. This is it's everything we talk about. And we're saying there's no mitzvah tshuva. It's very strange, but minchas chinuch doesn't deal with the why. He doesn't deal with the why. He says, listen, this is what it's. He's just a commentator. The Rambam doesn't count it as one of the mitzvahs. It's finished. He doesn't say you have to do vidui. He says you don't have to do vidui. Vidui is when you will decide you want to do tshuva, like someone wants to give a get. He doesn't have to give a get. You want to do a get. You don't have to have an argument and go to Bezdin. If you want, you have an argument. You want to go to Bezdin, you go to Bezdin. But if you don't have to. Your whole life, you never end up in the Bezdin.
It's tzedakah one of the mitzvahs that's enumerated as a mitzvah, or that's a voluntary thing. It should be like tzedakah. Tzedakah is the biggest mitzvah in the world, but it might not be enumerated as part of this entire mitzvah.
Well, meiser definitely is the mitzvah of meiser to give to ani is mentioned, but more than meiser, not dafke. More than meiser might be.
And also avos chesed.
You're not mechuyev al pi din to give, meaning pi din law wise, but Chazal will tell you. You have many Chazals will tell you how you're the worst person in the world if you don't give tzedakah, right? And if you do tzedakah, tatzim amavis, and but lav dafke, all that tzedakah you're giving you mechuyev. If someone went and gave someone $100 on the street, now I was mechuyev to give the 100.
So maybe we should compare that to tshuva.
Let's not get into tzedakah. I don't.
Yeah,
you have to get involved. We have to. It's a separate thing. That's be another
He's
shit.
making a good point, though. Lord is saying that even though it's not a derisa, but
It can't be enumerated.
First of all, tzedakah is probably clear in the Raisa. You have psukim say pasayach tiftach es yadcha. When you see a chicha evyein and
when you see a
lisa ames is lovavcha. I'm just saying I'm not.
This should also be a mitzvah.
Oh, let's
when
stick.
you do avodas, you have to do tshuva.
Let's stick to tshuva. This is very
Now in
interesting.
Beis Hamikdash, you bring a korban when you make a you bring a korban when you make a chet. Right? The Torah says which korban to bring, but the Torah also says v'yitvadal chatato. You have to say a word when you bring. It's not enough that you bring the korban. I made a veil, I come to Beis Hamikdash, here a coin, here's the cow, that's it. No. You have to say a word on the cow. According to Minchas Chinuch, if I bought the cow and I didn't say anything, I'm good. It's not two separate things. You bring the cow.
But there's two separate viduyim. We have to see. There's two separate. There, the vidui is a separate mitzvah. Today, we also have a mitzvah vidui, even though it's not a mitzvah. We don't bring karbanis, right? We still have a mitzvah vidui. Then the mitzvah is when you say the vidui, you should say it on the carbon. We don't have a carbon. We still say vidui. So that's the thing. Medai king gamil, the ending of the bottom of the right column. Medai king gamil loshan Rambam. Breish luchas tshuva. The Minchas Chinuch is not only medayik this from the Sefer HaMitzvahs of the Rambam, but also in Mishnah Torah. In the beginning of his Hilchas Tshuva, the Rambam writes, Shekasav, Kol mitzvah shebetoira kishiyasa tshuva, when someone does tshuva, v'yashim ichetoi, and he goes back from his sin, then chayiv l'svadas f'nei akel baruch hu vidui zeh mitzvah say. The Mavur B'dvarav, the Rebbe is quoting the Minchas Chinuch, Dein had tshuva mitzvah. It's clear from the Rambam's words, tshuva is not a mitzvah. So they call some mitzvah sheyasa tshuva. Doesn't say any words. It's a mitzvah to do tshuva. Rak be'im ba laseis. If he comes to do tshuva, mitzvah say she svada b'piv. How do we understand this? Why the Rambam would hold this way? He doesn't explain. But from his commentary on the Rambam, you see this is what the Rambam held. Later on, we'll see a possible explanation of how we understand this Rambam.
yeah, because it doesn't really
According
make
to
sense.
Minchas Chinuch Mahalach. There is other ways Mahalach that say no, tshuva is a mitzvah.
It could cost him the savior.
The other biurim hold that tshuva is a mitzvah. But according to Minchas Chinuch's biur that there's no mitzvah, there is another way how we can understand this sheet in Minchas Chinuch. There's no mitzvah with a pashto explanation. Well, let's continue on. Second shot. There's another Mahalach how we deal with this Rambam. Gam la Rambam yesh mitzvah v'chiyav asat tshuva. Also, the Rambam holds you have a mitzvah. Let's skip the parentheses. It's not counted in the minyan taryag. You know, we have this number, the simin of 613. Taryag mitzvahs. There's certain klalim what goes into the 613, what doesn't. Right. Just because it's not in the 613 doesn't mean we don't have to keep to it. We have to do it. Just not, there's certain rules what fits into the status of the Taryag mitzvahs. So he says, it's not in the Taryag mitzvahs, but it doesn't mean it's not a mitzvah. The fi shehi me'at tzivuyim hakoilim ha'Torah kula. Any tzivui that includes the entire Torah. It's not a specific mitzvah to do a specific act. It's a mitzvah which encompasses the whole Torah. The Rambam explains in this parenthesis, she'eina b'minyan tayag mitzvahs, k'mei shebiyah Rambam b'sefer mitzvah shel shavi. The Rambam, the beginning of the sefer mitzvah, explains the rules, the sheirashim. When do we count something's part of the 613? When not? One of the rules are that if it's a mitzvah keileles, it's an encompassing mitzvah. You don't count it. It's a mitzvah, just not counted in the tayag mitzvahs. What is tshuva? The Rambam explains himself, Mahi tshuva, sheyazav achoytei chetoi, v'yisidim v'mashavtei, v'yigmer b'liboy, shaliyaseu oid. Make up, you're not doing it again. Here the Rebbe quotes an Alter Rebbe in his Geras HaTshuva. What is the mitzvah HaTshuva min HaTorah? Zivas HaChabad. Just going away from that Veda. Then sheyigmer b'liboy, the top of the third column, b'lei shalom, l'bay yoshevoy, the kis, l'limma chuzis, b'lei yaver, oid mitzvah melech has-shalom. Hey, mitzvah, mitzvah. V'nimsa comes out from the Rambam's lashon, Alter Rebbe's lashon. She'ina tshuva l'in shakapolas mitzvahs. What is tshuva? Just re-accepting upon yourself the mitzvahs.
Exactly.
Shemakabel all the kind tag mitzvahs. V'imkein, there's not a specific mitzvah. It's all the 613 mitzvahs I should do. Reaffirm your commitment. There's nothing unique about this. What does it mean doing tshuva? Till now, he wasn't keeping Shabbos. He'll start keeping Shabbos. He did something different than every other Yid. No, he keeps Shabbos like every other Yid. Until now, he wasn't. Now he's doing it. The tshuva is to get back to the way you were originally.
That's what I was saying before.
Yeah.
Can I say one other thing?
Yeah.
Basically, it's just saying that. In other words, you didn't do a mitzvah, so you have a chiyuv to do that mitzvah. The only shayla of true would be is you have two mitzvahs to do once, but you always have the mitzvah to go to rectify what you weren't doing. That's the mitzvah. Tshuva is just the calling of giving a phrase to rectifying not keeping the Torah.
Right. Yeah. So Hayois is no special ma'isa miyuchad about tshuva. You don't have to. It's nothing unique about tshuva. What do you have to do? You have to get back to doing what you're supposed to be doing. He didn't command to do something new, something else that we didn't know yet. It's telling us to do the Tariq mitzvahs. Vidu, he does count. Vidu is something unique. I have to actually express with my mouth my chet that I didn't. It's not just doing a mitzvah. I have to express it with my mouth and say I sinned. Chatase visi peshaiti. That the Ram does count to me in a mitzvah. Ma'isa miyuchod sheni nichma shabbos. Come to us. Eina chanami shuva is a mitzvah min haTorah. But shuva doesn't fit the description to be counted as part of 613. But vidui does, so vidui is part of the Tayag mitzvahs. Yeah.
Where do you get the mitzvah that there is a mitzvah vidui? Where is it?
No, it says v'hisvadu es chatosim asher chatu.
V'hisvadu et avonam bet avonam botam. Okay, that's a pasuk.
Yeah, a pasuk in Parshas Nasi.
That is not a tzibui. That is a prediction of what's going to happen.
No. There it's a tzibui. If you take out Parshas Nasi,
It's a drush, probably.
It's a tzibui. No, v'hisvadu. It's you.
No. It's a don't say just
in the context.
Let's read the context. Let's take out a chumash. Bring a chumash.
But even in the context, could be a Gemara.
Et chatatam asher chatu. Let's see the context. Eina chanami. Let's take a look.
But even
Someone
if it's
has
not
a
the context, the Gemara has the right to make the drush.
Chumash b'midbar.
No, the Gemara.
Vidui, there's no question about it's a mitzvah.
Even if the context is what he's saying is not the context. But if you find the Gemara that
we know that
are going to dash in a certain way, too bad. Even if the context is out. That's what I know.
I'll tell you. Only one thing I could say, by the way, there is a ha'ar in 33 later on where the Rebbe brings that there is a shita in Rishonim that not only don't count mitzvahs, tshuva, they also don't count vidui. So obviously they had some other way of understanding this pasuk. That would be maybe would fit in line with what you're saying, but that's not the majority. That's not the halacha. That's not the majority of shitas. They do understand that this pasuk in Parashas Nasi is an actual chiyuv.
What is it, Bidvadu or Bidvada al Hatato?
והתוודה על חטאתו שלך.
Pashtus, it's a chiyuv. It says, Daba b'nei Yisrael isha ki yatz mikol chatas adam, may any do any avedis. Lima mal b'Hashem, v'osh manefesh he is guilty. V'svados chatasam v'she'asu. V'heishiv zashami b'roishiv, you should give back what they took. V'chamishtoi, only thing you could say, it's unique for hektish.
Yeah,
Talking
only
about
for
hektish.
Only about a korban you have to make the vidui.
Yeah, that could be those Rishonim held that's tied to the carbon. Could be, I don't know. It's a good shot. We're only dealing with the Shita of the Rambam and the Smag and other Rishonim that do hold that Tzvida is a mitzvah, but they don't count Tshuva. A separate discussion would actually be to understand those Shitas that hold the Tzvida is B'chal, not a mitzvah. So we have here the second explanation. First one is not B'chal a mitzvah. And the second one is it is a mitzvah, it's just a mitzvah kelela, so we don't include it in the Taryag mitzvah. Now, by the way, Rabbi Yosef, you were asking where would be the pasuk in the Torah that's according to the Shita. Where's the pasuk in the Torah? You have to have a pasuk. You want to say
for vidui of tshuva.
Tshuva. According to the second Minchas, Chida said there is no such a mitzvah in the Rambam Shita. But according to the second Shita, that there is, the Rambam does hold as a mitzvah Tshuva.
Really?
Where is it in the Torah? You have to show me the pasuk. A lot of the psukim are saying, Hashem is saying, you will one day come back to me. But where do you see the pasuk that you have to do tshuva? So if you look in the beginning of this, beginning of this letter we just read, Ois Beis, going back to the second column, Ois Beis, the brackets right in the beginning, the Shloimer Shatzivi B'Torah al Mitzvah Tshuva Nichlal is included in the pasuk in Parshas Eikiv, Amaltem es Arlas Levavchem, V'Arpechem Leisak Shoid. You shouldn't stiffen your necks anymore to me. Anymore you shouldn't stiffen your necks. Sheperushi shetzivui lamos alev. You have to circumcise your heart. Allahas remove is akashis oirev sheyeshem kvar. You have to remove the stiffness of the neck that you have already. It's like you have something that you have a problem by you, and you have a chiyuv to get rid of it.
Isn't that talking about also lovely?
That's not a commandment. It's a prediction.
It's a prediction, exactly.
Yeah.
Also lovely.
Let's see. Yud Tezayin.
Why don't you just say by the Shvatim, they say, it's Chatay Ani Maskirayon.
I mean,
Shvatim admitted that they did a Chat.
To me, this whole conversation to me seems to be ridiculous because it's like, for instance, is there a mitzvah to believe in God?
Oh my goodness.
This whole psukim here in Parshas Eikiv are telling you what to do.
If you don't believe in God, then the whole Torah doesn't make any sense. See, it's just the scholarly shown that and same thing here. If you don't believe in Teshuva, the whole issue of
no one's saying they don't believe in Teshuva. The question only is if it's a derived.
It's a separate mitzvah. Is there a separate mitzvah?
Everyone believes in Teshuva. No one doesn't believe in Teshuva.
So what do you?
It's a very Jewish concept. Teshuva. The question is it actually a mitzvah in the Torah? A biblical mitzvah in the Torah.
It's not a mitzvah.
You know, we have a lot of ideas. We have a lot of ideas we can learn out from our others how they behave. They're not necessarily meiser, giving meiser. There are some shitas that hold that meiser is not a chiyuv. It's a minig that started by our others. Up until now, it's a minig. It doesn't say anywhere clear to give meiser in the Torah. The Torah says Avraham Avinu gave meiser from the war.
Maser Kasafim you're talking about.
Yeah, meiser money, not on your produce. So the shilas today, what is meiser? Is this a minig that our others started, and it's a minig that they did, and we continue this concept? Is it a chiyuv derabanan, deraisa? You have three machlokes: deraisa, derabanan, and minig.
Yeah.
So it's a nice thing, not just a nice thing. It's a nice thing that it's a Jewish tradition going back to the first Jew, the first Jew. So it's a Jewish thing. It's a Jewish concept and it's based in Judaism. But we're not going to say we have to. We're here to clarify what the law. What does it say? What is not? What is it clear? We know we have to do tshuva. The question is, we're having a lamdish discussion here, a pilpul. Where does it actually say it in the Torah? And by the way, these pesukim here are clear in Parshas Eikiv. Instructions, what you have to do. Va'at Yisrael, now Yidin Ba Hashem Alekech Hashem. What is he asking from you? Le'yiras Hashem Alekech, La'avoy, say La'avoid, Amaltem Asaros Levavchem. These are all pesukim. You shall cut away the barrier of your heart and no longer stiffen your neck. That's the art school says. So L'maisa, This is a chiyuv based on this mahalach. A third mahalach in the Rambam Gimel. Back to the third column Gimel. The Kiryas Sefer. The Kiryas Sefer is a sefer written on explaining the Rambam. It's written by a Yid, the Moshe ben Yosef the Troni. He probably came from Troni before he moved to Eretz Yisrael, which is in Italy. And he lived at the times of the Bis Yosef. He argued with Bis Yosef a lot. He had his own shuvas. Bis Yosef wrote shuvas. Sometimes they wrote each other shuvas back and forth. The Kiryas Sefer Maitik Lo Sharamba Beketeres Lo Chashuva Shagam Hein Nichtu Aidei Rambam. He quotes the Rambam's language that he writes in his title, the title to his Hilchos Tshuva. The titles that the Rambam gave to his halachas, his titles were also given by the Rambam. The Rambam himself wrote it. Sheyashuv hachoite mechater Hashem yisvada. It's clear that Shuv is also mitzvah. Sheyashuv hachoite mechater Hashem yisvada. Not kasher yashuv hachoite. When he will return. No, the Tshuva. Mefarish explains that Tshuva avidei mitzvah. Maybe that's what you were saying in the beginning of this year. Tshuva and vidui is one mitzvah. It's inseparable. It's one mitzvah. He she'ein vidui b'lei tshuva. There's no vidui without tshuva. Ki mi she'misvada ve'ein goymer b'libi loshem chatos u'keteva shad b'yadei. V'vidui gemara tshuva. You're just saying words. If you don't have tshuva, what's your vidui? Just saying words. It's like someone going into a mikveh. Someone became tamei because he touched a sheretz, a dead sheretz, and he goes into the mikveh holding the sheretz in his hand. Terrible b'sheretz b'yadei. How you can ever get it to come tar? So you want to say vidui without doing tshuva? It's the opposite. Bir Dvarav explaining the words of the Kiryas Sefer, the Mabit. Tshuva v'vidui him shnei chalok shebetachas. There are just two parts to one mitzvah. Tshuva is the chelak hamachshava shaba, hagmira belev lazev shleseoid, and vidui is the chelak hadibur. You have two parts: your heart and how you express it with your mouth. B'lashon Rambam shetzorich v'yisvades b'svasav. You have to vidui with your lips. V'loimer yonas elu shegam libay. You have to say those in yonim which you have committed to in your heart. So there's vidui is just saying out, expressing what you have already in your heart. So there's the heart, and there's the dibur, the machshava, the dibur and the left. Vidui includes the chiyuv to return. Without doing tshuva, there is no toichen. The Maisa, by the way, it's still not clear, by the way. The Kiryas Sefer's pshat, l'chora, you can still ask on it. Eina chanami that you cannot have a vidui without tshuva. You can't confess without tshuva. But who says I have to confess? Who says I have to confess? The Torah says when you do it.
The Torah said beferish, you have to say it. You have to say it.
So Hayois, the Torah said, I have to say vidui visvadus chatasam. And what does vidui mean? Vidui means express what you have in your heart. So it's inclusive in vidui. So eina chanami tshuva is not counted as a separate mitzvah in the Torah because it's not a separate mitzvah in the Torah.
It's connect.
It's the second half of vidui. It is vidui. There is no vidui without tshuva. That's it. And by the way, if you would do tshuva according to this, if you do tshuva alone without vidui, it's not a mitzvah. You're not yoytza mitzvah. If someone just in his heart returned to Hashem, you weren't yoytza mitzvah. Obviously, tshuva is a very special thing, and you get kapar of it. But the mitzvah in the Torah, you're not yoytza according to this pshat. Right. According to the earlier, the second part, it's a mitzvah. Even without the vidui, you have a mitzvah. It's a second mitzvah. It's two mitzvahs: vidui and tshuva. Vidui is included in Tayyah because it's a ma'aseh miyuchad, and tshuva is not included. But it's two mitzvahs. According to the Kiryas Sefer,
you can't do one with the other.
No, it's included.
He wrote this in Hebrew and Arabic, the Rambam.
The Rambam, it depends. We're going back in the beginning. We quoted the very beginning Sefer HaMitzvahs was written in Arabic. It's what we read as a translation. But what he wrote, the thing we just quoted now, the Mishnah Torah was Lashon Kodesh. Only the Mishnah Torah. He wrote Shuvas. The Rambam wrote Shuvas in Arabic.
Kapach.
The Gadol B'Yisrael wrote Shuvas, like today we write in English Shuvas. He wrote an Arabic Teshuva.
This was the language then. That's
And he wrote explanations that explained to the Am, and he wanted them to understand the mitzvahs. So he wrote 7 mitzvahs in Arabic. He wanted them to understand the Mishnah. She wrote a comment in all the Mishnahs in Arabic. He wrote the first art scroll in Arabic. I don't know if it was an Arabic. Maybe there were other Ketelis. So Rashi is constantly telling us words in French, right? He wants the French reader to understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
What percentage of Yidden spoke Arabic at the time of the Rambam?
The Rambam's whole land spoke. They all spoke
In
Arabic.
Spain?
Spain, Egypt, all this country. He was in Egypt for a lot of years.
Did you ever hear of Rabbi Yitzchak Lamprunti?
Sure.
Pachad Yitzchak.
Yeah, yeah, okay, so it's an encyclopedia of Teshuvot, of Italian Rabbanim. And many of the Teshuvot are written
In Arabic.
in Italian.
Sure.
But not like when the Rambam wrote Arabic, he wrote Arabic in Hebrew letters.
Hebrew script.
But
Yeah.
but these Teshuvot in Italian, they're written in Italian letters.
Nice.
So
You know, there's a Rishon in England, his name is Rabbeinu Peter.
Peter?
Peter.
I think it's Syrian.
Like Peter Rabbit.
They have weekly Torah newsletters, all in Arabic.
We have a guy here who brings a newspaper in Arabic.
No, it's Torah. It's written in Arabic.
Yeah,
Torah newsletters. But you have Torah tablet in English. That's the Torah tablet in Arabic.
Yesterday.
So according to Curious Saifi holds that the Rambam
How
does
do you get
hold
in?
that
Yeah.
it's, the Rambam does hold it to
Let
mitzvah.
him in?
No, it was the teacher of the bike gate man.
Oh.
The Rambam,
According to
the Curious Sefer holds that Teshuva is not independent mitzvah. It's a part and parcel of Vidui. So Vidui has
So
an
Vida, everybody holds it to mitzvah, even calling minchas chinuch.
yeah. Vidui, the Rambam clearly says the mitzvah. The Rambam clearly. By the way, over here, this whole sikh is only discussing Shita the Rambam. We're not here having a general discussion about all the Shitas on Vidui. We're discussing the Rambam clearly mentions Vidui as a mitzvah. He does not mention Teshuva. 3 explanations. Minchas Chinuch says there is no mitzvah of Teshuva. Just when you do Teshuva, the way you should do it is Vidui. But if your whole life you never ended up doing Teshuva, you were not over the mitzvah of Teshuva, you were over other Avedas in the Torah. But you were not over on the mitzvah of Teshuva, because there is no such a mitzvah. Number 2, another mahalach is to say
no mitzvah Vida either.
no. Vidui is clear in the Rambam. They're not up for discussion. Vidui is clear in the Rambam. You have to chiv to do Vidui.
So according to minchas chinuch, so that's not an argument.
The shaila is why he doesn't mention Teshuva.
Oh.
The Minchas Chinuch says when you do Teshuva, you have a chiv to mimasvad b'peh. I have no chiv to do the Teshuva. One mahalach. Second mahalach is ein lechanami. Teshuva is a mitzvah. Why it's not included in Taryag? Because there's certain kolon the Rambam himself sets up. When we include a certain mitzvah in the count of 613 or not, there are more than 613 mitzvahs in the Torah. Just Taryag mitzvahs are the certain ones that are clear in the Torah. So there's certain rules. That's why we have machloikis between different moinei ha-mitzvahs. From Yishayinim, some take in these mitzvahs, put in the other mitzvahs. The bulk of them are the same, but there's arguments between the two. What exactly goes into this 613?
Rabbi, in Yom Kippur we have Vidui Kohen Gadol. He
Yeah.
doesn't do tshuva. He just does a big vidui and we all saying it. Doesn't make tshuva.
He has to. He has to be mitzvah.
But
No, he has to do tshuva.
the Torah doesn't, the Siddur doesn't say that. Say the Kachaya Omer, and this is how we
That's the
Cook,
whole
if he
thing.
doesn't do, if he, according to all
That's the whole thing.
shitas, if you don't think tshuva when you're doing the vidui, it's not a vidui because it's toivel b'shadas biyada. You're just saying words. It's not a mitzvah to say words which don't make which you don't mean.
That's one of the alchets in Yom Kippur for being mitzvah without doing tshuva.
Yeah.
It's not written down in the Aruch Matzur, but the Chidah explains the alchet shechatanu vidupeh.
It says it in the Armach Zeichet.
It explains what vidupeh is.
To look inside, but I think it says it.
So the
If
third
I
thing.
say something I'm going to do, I'm not doing it.
There's like 4. It fits on the 4 things.
I'm saying
Vidupeh, mevatis vasayim. What's the lashon of vidupeh vasayim? There's a few things.
you have to say it.
Yeah.
There was someone who he read it says in Svarim that if you don't talk Dvarim B'Teilim for 40 days, and you're zoich to have a Gilui of Eliyahu Navi. So for 40 days he didn't speak any Dvarim B'Teilim. He only davened to learn the whole time. He came to the Baal Shem Tov and he complained he didn't have the Gil Liyot. So Baal Shem Tov said, what were you doing all this time? It's just davening and learning everything. So that was your Dvarim B'Telem. His Dvarim B'Telem was, his davening and learning is not such a high level. So that was Dvarim B'Telem. I mean, what does it mean Dvarim B'Telem? There's figuratively and there's literally, and for him that was the Dvarim B'Telem.
There's another story where the tzaddik said, "You see, Elsie, the horse. She also didn't say Dvarim B'Telem."
Yeah, that was the nice Ruzhana. Yeah.
Ruzhana.
Yeah, the Ruzhana was a guy. Yeah, there was someone who has that sort of story. He also did something. Didn't speak on the B'Telem. And he came and he decided he wasn't a chassid, but he decided he heard the Ruzhana tzaddik, and he didn't have any gilui. So he also came to the Ruzhana and he said maybe he'll have an answer for him. We heard people say it's a tzaddik. He came there. The Ruzhana had a style that he went with very malchustik, with a lot of riches. So he was looking. He said, "This is a tzaddik. It's not a tzaddik. This is not how he thought a tzaddik would he envisioned a tzaddik." So he's quite disturbed. He stayed to Shabbos. He was watching what's going on. He said, "This is b'chal not a tzaddik. This is what this person's a tzaddik. They're all looking for. I don't have anything to do over here to ask him my kasha that I have. He doesn't get an answer." Anyways, before he left, and he decided one last time to go see the tzaddik, maybe come near him, watch him, see what he's doing. He sees the tzaddik going to the stable, and he's patting down the horses, making nice to the horses. So he couldn't hold himself back. So he said, "What's this special avodah, the tzaddik, of patting down the horses? What's behind it?" So he said, "These horses, they didn't talk Dvarim B'Telem in 40 days." So you say 40 days he didn't talk Dvarim B'Telem, but he was a ferd, you're a horse. So what's it going to help Dvarim B'Telem he didn't talk? You can't be a ferd. The 40 days you have to become another person. You're still the same horse.
Also it says somebody decided to make tshuva like that, to see the Giyah of fasting 40 days, only at night to eat. After 40 days, nothing, Giyah doesn't come. So he came to his rabbi and said, "What did you do?" He said, "You didn't do tshuva, you did diet."
The diet. I didn't hear that one, but it's a good one.
That's cute.
Anyways.
It was one time after Teshuva, and the snow, they saw that his footsteps
Right.
were so...
Didn't wear soles. He had fancy shoes, fancy boots.
So they showed blood.
Oh, blood it was.
One of the big Chabad Chassidim, one of the very big Chabad Chassidim was Rabbi Isaac Kumler. And at one point he was sent by the Tzemach Tzedek on a shlichus to the Ruzhana Rebbe. So he came to the Ruzhana Rebbe, it was Erev Shabbos. So he came into him before Shabbos to speak to him. And it was coming close to Shabbos, and he was smoking his pipe. And he says, right before Shabbos, how he took his pipe and he threw away his pipe. And he suddenly saw how the Ruzhana's face totally changed. He wasn't able to recognize him anymore.
He said, "Come with me, I'll show you."
And he was so embarrassed. He felt so embarrassed. He saw such kedusha. He felt so embarrassed about him. He said he went a tefech higher. I was down here. He went higher.
But
Okay.
But they also say that there was pretty big madrega that he was able to see the Ruzhana go higher. That itself was a big madrega.
Yeah, the Baisa come was from the big Chassidim. Yeah.
I heard that man before the fast came to Kfar Chabad, the Rebbe started to be a mashpia. So he's walking around in the Zal. See American boy with a pony, jeans, sitting over there, knowing more. He look. Who is this? So I told him, it's a fresh Baal Tshuva. I said, "What do you mean? I'm walking around my life to be Baal Tshuva. He's already Baal Tshuva."
That's it.
Okay.
So the third thing is
So the third oif in the Kiryas Sefer says, Vidui, Teshuva is a mitzvah, but it's not an independent mitzvah. It's part and parcel of Vidui. You cannot do a Vidui without Teshuva. So the Torah tells you have to do Vidui, it's including Teshuva. There's no way about it. It's including Teshuva.
Rabbi,
The Maisi brings an example, the Rebbe brings an example like tefillah, davening. Davening is really something of the heart. But the way how we express the tefillah is with the mouth. We have a chiyuv to express the tefillah with the mouth. So when we say the word lispalel, pillow, it's with the mouth. You should daven with your mouth. That's what we call the mitzvah. But reality, the mitzvah is a mitzvah of kavanah. The Rambam writes, if you don't have kavanah, you don't know who you're standing in front of when you're davening. Even if you don't know the Pirush HaMilah, if you don't know the Pirush HaMilah is one thing, but you don't realize who you're standing in front of, it's not pshat you did a mitzvah without kavanah.
You didn't do nothing.
Pshat is you didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything.
That's not davening. Sometimes you can say you did a mitzvah, I ate matzah, I didn't have kavanah. Okay, you ate the matzah. By davening, the whole thing is the kavanah.
Didn't do the act.
So Maisa, but tefillah has two aspects to it. You have the kavanah, which is the ikr, but you have to be moitzi b'svasav, you have to say it out b'dibur. So you have two parts to one mitzvah. Same thing vidu, you have two parts to it. You have the tshuva b'lev, and the vidu, so you don't have to count as a separate mitzvah because it's included in, it is a part and parcel of the vidu.
In the article Siddur, it shows for each parak of Kriyishma what kavanah you have to have for, you have to have
Certain kavanah every posuk, but the first posuk in the Raisa you have to have kavanah. Otherwise,
Shema Esrei.
not yet, it's called Shema.
Shema Yisrael. Is
Magen Avraham. In Shema Esrei, you have to have kavanah, Rabbi say. The Pirush HaMilah says ma'akev, you have to have kavanah from
The first three brachas ma'akev.
the first bracha till Magen Avraham. First bracha from Baruch Hashem till Magen Avraham. Should try to hold your machshava, have kavanah on all the words.
כל האומר יחטא ואשוב, יחטא ואשוב, אין יום כיפור מכפר. So no vidu here or nothing. He said, I'm making a sin, and he come back to the sin, so no vidu or nothing, אין יום כיפור מכפר. So we see we need the vidu b'peh.
You need to make sure his love is there.
B'heart.
Yeah. Okay, let's look a little bit more. We're not going to learn the whole thing. We'll learn a little bit more in Sif Beis, and then I want to turn to what the Yisach Moshe says over here. Very geschmack Yisach Moshe. Sif Beis. In Derech HaNigla, maybe Gimel Biurim Hanal. This is page 20, left column Beis. 20, left column Beis. From the three explanations, the best explanation to take on in the Rambam Shita is the third one, the Kiryas Sefer, who says that Teshuva is a part and parcel of Vidui. Why? The Shita Minchas Chinuch, according to the Minchas Chinuch, is Mahalach, the first Shita, Shal Rambam Min Choy V'Lashes Teshuva, there's no Chiv to do Teshuva according to the Rambam. Kasha. Sharei B'Keteres L'Hilchos Teshuva Mefurish.
Right.
Mitzvah achas v'hu sheyoshev achoyti mechetah. If Hashem is valid, in the title the Rambam himself wrote, includes it. It says it is a mitzvah tshuva.
The Mamish says it himself.
Harei shegam l'Rambam bish mitzvah l'shem mechetah. V'chein noch agam Rabbeinu Azak and Alter Rebbe learned that way in the Rambam too. Bigeres tshuva shaloi shekasa mitzvah tshuva na Torah. The top of page 21. It's a mitzvah tshuva. Azivas achav v'ani sheyish mitzvah na Torah l'shem mechetah. He's talking over there in the Rambam Shita. Bigeres tshuva. So the Alter Rebbe also learned pshat that there's a mitzvah. So the Minchas Chinuch Mahalach is shver. Besides for what we had problems that, there's no mitzvah in tshuva, we had a more of a logical problem. But the Rebbe is just saying from the Lashon of the Rambam.
No, the Rebbe bring the Rambam from the English Tshuva.
Yeah. V'gam abiyah based on now the second explanation, shetshuva hi me'at tzivuyim hakoilim shema ma'asim yuchad. That the reason why tshuva is not, it really is a mitzvah minat Torah. But it's not included in the Taryag mitzvahs because it doesn't fit into the klal the Rambam himself set up when a mitzvah should be included in the Taryag mitzvahs because there's no special ma'asim miyuchad. Dochuk l'chora. It's l'chora a little bit doichetik. Ki b'tshuva tzarech li yislo yirak azivas achet al gam charot al avar. K'mei shekatzav Rambam mahi atshuva hi sheyaz v'choy tirchate v'chein, and as well, not only should leave the sin, forsake it, yisnachem al sha'avar. Hari charot al avar ma'asim miyuchad. What was the second explanation? That tshuva is included in all the mitzvahs in the Torah because tshuva is not here to tell us to do anything new. To tell us to get back to what you're supposed to do to Taryag mitzvahs. But the Rebbe's Medayik in the Lashon of the Rambam says not only you have to, tshuva says that you have to leave the Aveda. It's not enough that you go away from the Aveda. You have to feel bad about your past. What happens if a Yid says, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. What I did until now I did. I enjoyed it. I don't feel bad about it, but I don't want to get punished from now on. So I'm leaving the chet, starting a clean slate.
No.
But he's not mischaret. It usually doesn't happen. It comes together. But in Indian, someone's going to make a zalom this. It's not mischaret. Says the Rambam.
It's a hefet tshuva.
You're missing part of the mitzvah of tshuva. That's part of the mitzvah is to be mischaret. So a yois that charata is not included in the mitzvah because if a person just leaves the chet, he says, until now I wasn't keeping Shabbos. Until now I wasn't putting on tefillin, or any other issue that Rabbanon, whatever the Aveda might be. So he's not doing anything new. He's just coming back to what he's supposed to be doing. It's not a ma'aseh miyuchad, so it could be a mitzvah kelalis. But over here, if there's a special, if part of the mitzvah tshuva is also to have charata, that's not included in any mitzvah in the Torah. So there is something unique about tshuva. Tshuva adds, not only you should put tefillin on, but you have to have regret that you didn't put it on. You have to regret you didn't keep Shabbos done. If that's not included, that would have to be a separate mitzvah in the Torah.
So somebody who wasn't from, so he became religious, how can he feel bad for what he did in the past? It's not like he was from, that he went off there and came back. Someone who didn't know.
Cook.
So he had to have charata.
Sure, yes, sure,
How can he have
yes.
charata?
Because once he gets at the level, he understands that
They feel charata. You ask about tshuva, he feels a lot of charata about his life. Besides for the fact that by them it's a different story. They weren't taught, they didn't know about it. It's something. If one of us didn't have Veda, it's much worse. We know about the Torah. We're brought up we're in an environment we know what it's about, and we're doing something. It's bemazed. They didn't know about Torah. So they also have to have charata, but it's not.
Oh, it's not so bad.
They didn't know. Now, the Maisa is the Payol. So therefore, the Rebbe remains the third beer, the third explanation. That the Kirya Sefer, the Mabit's explanation, that Vidui, Tshuva is part and parcel of Vidui. Vidui is Bepeh. You have to say out Bepeh what you have in your heart, the Tshuva in your heart. So it's not a separate mitzvah, part and parcel of Vidui. The rest of the Sikh is going to go on to explain it at Pich Siddis. So we're going to stop over here. I wanted to tell you a very gishmak of art of the Yisach Moshe.
Who's Yisach Moshe?
Yisach Moshe was the Moshe Teitelbaum. He was the Elta Zayd of the Satmar Rav. From the big tzaddikim. So Yisach Moshe, someone asked him this kasha. Someone asked him, how come we don't find clearly in the tshuva a clear pasuk? It says he's supposed to do tshuva. And as well, we don't find in the Rambam it's clearly to do tshuva. It says vidui, tzvadas chatasam. It doesn't say he had the shaila. And he didn't discuss the Minchas Chinuch. He wasn't around in his days, and he on his own discussed it originally. And he came up with a Gavaldike Mahalach. He says, what is tshuva? Tshuva means, not like people think that tshuva is you have to fast and torture yourself, sikufim. That's for the kapara, like the Alter Rebbe also explains. That's for the forgiveness. But the actual mitzvah tshuva is to leave the Aveda. To leave the Aveda and have the charata. Well, Maisa, if you have someone who's rebellious, and he's doing Avedas, he's rebellious. He doesn't care about the mitzvahs in the Torah. He doesn't care what Hashem tells him. For whatever reason, l'teyave, l'hachis. But now you come and tell him there's a mitzvah tshuva. You think it's going to turn him on? It's going to be interested in doing tshuva? He doesn't care. He's rebellious. Maybe you tell him, I'm not doing all these mitzvahs. Oh, and you tell me there's another mitzvah, I'm not doing the mitzvah tshuva. I'm not interested. So it says that the Yisrael Moshe, when a person is a Rasha, there's no one to talk to. There's no one to sit on the table with. I can't give him another mitzvah tshuva. It's not going to help him. Alright, so what are you going to tell me I'm going to give him the mitzvah tshuva once he comes back? Once he comes back already, he did tshuva already. So in Manav Shach, there's no mitzvah tshuva. Where are we going to place the mitzvah tshuva? It's a very gishmak of art. Yeah. Let's take a look inside.
That he has the machshava to come back, and he hasn't done it yet.
If he said like this, if you would learn that tshuva is the fasting, that's the ikar mitzvah tshuva fasting. So yes, I could tell someone that once you return, you have a chiyuv to fast. But hayois that tainesim is not the ikar of tshuva. That's a form of kapara, to gain atonement. But that to gain forgiveness, that's not tshuva. Tshuva is just leaving the Aveda. So tshuva is leaving the Aveda. He says, how can I have a mitzvah to tshuva? To the Rasha doesn't care. It's not going to help adding for him another mitzvah that he should do tshuva. He's already not keeping all the other tayag mitzvahs that he's supposed to keep. Hashem told him keep putting on tefillin, he's not putting on. Keep Shabbos, not. Oh, now you told him I have to do tshuva, he's going to listen.
There's a big stage of development from when you have that deep feeling, and then you shift and you want to do tshuva, but you didn't do it yet. You just know you have to do it. So at that point, you know you have a mitzvah.
Let's this whole shir is Be'etzim trying to bring out that there's an interesting mahalach to learn that Rambam there's no mitzvah. Obviously, the pashtos tshuva is a mitzvah, and that's a simple way of looking at things. We're trying to give credence and to understand another mahalach, how you can turn the plate over and understand the other way around, that there's no mitzvah tshuva. Yisach Moshe gives a lot of weight to that mahalach. Let's look the right column. It's on the Ala Torah and Parshas Nasi Visvados Chatasam. The right column, the first opening paragraph, Visvados Chatasam. Nishalti mimaskul echad. I was asked, someone intelligent asked me, Lama nichta mitzvah tshuva bebir b'Torah kedosha. Why doesn't it say clearly in the Torah a mitzvah of tshuva? He's not even discussing the Rambam yet. Even in Torah itself, we don't see a clear pasuk. Ad kan divrei hashoyel. V'ni avar dvarav. I will explain his kasha. The Hagam ki unim lemitzvah essay ikir zeshin imishu avidui. Ki baba teres en agdei shaloshin tzivui k'meisha kasa v'isvadas chatasam v'chein v'isvadasha achatalav. Even though it says clearly in the Torah vidui, avat shuva shuacharot of azivas achet loinim lemitzvah f'ne'atzma. Does not account it as a mitzvah itself. Ki before Rambam nochas shuva like the minchas chinuch was medayik. That mitzvah hi kishay yashuv, when you will come back yisvada. Mamish exactly like the minchas chinuch. V'chein mavor sefer mitzvahs of the Rambam and the Smag and the Sefer HaChinuch all say the same thing. Or be'emes loy kasva Torah b'lashon tzibur. Actually, the Torah only said kol to mitzvah. But loy leikra tshuva necharot v'ziv zachet tehim ikra tshuva. That's the ikra thing of tshuva. The Rambam himself describes what mahi tshuva, like we said before. Tshuva is doing aziv zachet and charot. V'heichod nisker tshuva v'teisena kadesh nisker rak derech haftocha shikaba Hashem yisbarach tshuvas hashavim yashuv. Whenever we find in Torah mentions tshuva, it's a promise that Hashem will accept you if you do tshuva. But it doesn't say you have to do tshuva. If you do tshuva, Hashem will accept you. Nichte b'loshin tzivui v'kosher be'emes staka shver my time leitziv sa Torah alzeh kim she mitzvah gedoyla, such a great mitzvah. Kol kach mishamar azal v'mokin shebalat tshuva oindin ein tzadikim gemurim yichoyel lamid v'gedoyla tshuva shemagas hakisa hakaved, it reaches all the way up to the kisa hakaved v'gami yisoid ha'oilam yisoid kima umar hakadosh v'chara. That's the yisoid of our whole Am Yisrael. The tzadik ba'aretz sheyasa chet l'yechta. There's no person in this world that never does an aveda.
So you said tova.
Rakatrufa hi tshuva. The only your medicine is a tshuva. Kimavur v'zeh hakadosh that tshuva yisoid habriya. Without tshuva, the loss of the yochel amal eskayim. Ad kan be your kushal shayl. The shayl asked the pashtos, and Yisrael Moshe gave a lot of richness to the. How could it be it's not a tshuva? V'shavte answered like this. Halei ikir tshuva. What is tshuva? Hi acharota shemescharet al seruvei umirdei kenege mitzvahs koine. Vazivas achet. Val eze mehen mitzvahs hatoira on anything you did wrong. V'malcharota sheischaret mimanashach. Achash shenischaret after you already regretted in tzadach tzivui. You don't need to command him. The Quran is charet, he already regretted it. V'im koidish is charet, before you regret it, how do you emi b'mirdei? He's still standing in his rebellion. He's rebellious. How could you command someone who's a moided? Bekitzer, that's his ikram halach. He goes on to explain that this is one of his rayas that he like the Noidi Yehuda. The Noidi Yehuda also has a very famous tshuva, similar with Hey. Noidi Yehuda explains that someone did a terrible aveda. He wanted a kapara. The Noidi Yehuda has a whole mahalach how to give him a tshuva. This was over aveda with the Eishes Ish for 3 years. Ganze parsha, a lot of pratim over there. And so the Noidi Yehuda says that the tanesim, the fasting, is not part of the tshuva. So says like the Alter Rebbe writes in Tanya, same thing. So the Moshe says, I have over here a raya from here that it's taken not part of tshuva, because if it were part of the mitzvah of tshuva, it should have been a tzibah in the Torah to do tainesim. Tshuva itself, you can't give a command to, but if tshuva was the fasting, then you can tell someone to fast, just like you tell someone to do vidui. Is a raya, Mikan raya says that the taineis and sagufim are a second thing. They're after one does tshuva, one wants to attain atonement, and kapara for zavedis. So that's where we find in different svarim. It talks about Arizal and Rikeach, other svarim. How many taneisim one should fast in order to get kapara. But the etzem of the tshuva is just going away from the chet, coming back to the way you were previously.
Shouldn't
That's
that
it.
be the kapara?
Huh?
Shouldn't that be the kapara already?
It's not enough that you say mekana lahaba, but what about all this man that you didn't? How are you going to make up for what you missed? He has to do something. It's nishnar genug. Mekana lahaba, I'm going to put on tefillin, but you for a year you're snishka like tefillin.
The person that's saying something and then he stops, he will not do it again. That's the tshuva. That's a mishkul.
But that's only al tshuva. It's only al tshuva.
What do you need more? I'll see the shvam say you don't need some good from an
But that doesn't help for the mitzvah tshuva. It all helps for the segufim taneisim. You can have other ways out. For tzedakah, different things can take away the segufim taneisim. The kapara, like the oila. A person brought an oila on a mitzvah essay. He had to do tshuva. Why did he bring the carbon oila? He did tshuva already. The carbon oila was how the Gemara says is after you did something wrong to the king, you asked forgiveness, then you send a gift. So the oil is the gift. Al derech zeh, the taneisim is the gift. You did something wrong. You made a problem. Okay, you came back. Gebet mechila, but it's not. Things are not exactly visa given freer. The yachas. Right, yeah.
That was spoke many times, you don't hold.
So today, Igeres Teshuva says, Igeres Teshuva talks a lot about tzedakah.
You have to be poided.
Igeres Teshuva talks a lot about tzedakah. That's his mahalach. Chassidim used to say, what happens if someone doesn't have money? He also can geld. So it says, you have to learn Igeres Teshuva. To learn Igeres Teshuva. Hasish can geld. Adam would sagen, Hasish can geld, zindig nicht. I'm not talking here what to do. Lamaisa Tanis and Segufim, the Svarim says that it's not an Inyan Derech to do, even in the Alter Rebbe and Tanya says that you should do maybe half-day fast over a long period of time, over a few in the short days in the winter. There's different mahalchim, but the Iker was giving tzedakah. But before the koidim, the tzedakah is tshuva. It's not if someone says, he's going to do whatever he wants, and mechaper because he's going to donate a building. It's a beautiful thing. We should take the money. We need the money, but the nice is you have to do tshuva. The hardest thing is doing the tshuva. Lamesh taught the tshuva.
I believe if you push it to the tzaddik and the tzaddik does tshuva for you.
You do the chet.
Listen, I'll tell you, if you push it, you have a mutzah. That's what it is.
If you push it, you wouldn't do the chet. If you push it, you wouldn't do the chet. You wouldn't do the chet. Because you're not push, that's what you do the chet. Then you want it to you eat, otherwise you die, but don't start the it's not working, it's not no mood for the
I'm a Levi.
I don't understand what is it.
yes. What's your tshuva?
I dabbled to it.
About tshuva?
You don't need to tshuva. So what is he trying to say?
That's why the Rambam don't.
Oh, that's the answer to the question.
Why the Rambam don't count it as a test?
Nice. Everybody sees something else.
So he had an incident Rabbi Habbas done for the very good job.
No, not there. I did check
You missed your ball.
No, it's happened to it.
Not making a verse.
What?
Not making a verse.
By the way, it says if you don't have money, that's the whole thing. That's, you give all your money for four. It says in your
Yem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'negem ha'balala ve'abasra lo sasu mimenu le'olam mivu kata Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Eloheinu.
Zijn de woorden maar bij de hoofd.
Guck mal, wann ist noch mal da, keiner dran heen, so geween,
Heen van jenen. Maar Israël, Alinoi, Aliteino, Alinoi, Echo. Die haafde, die staat er heel gewoon. Weil ich mal ja die Schnur an das sei für eine Lösung sein.
لا سأعطي لك أنا خمس سنين شخص. Adonai Elohechem Adonai Kododechem Adonai Elohechem Amen. גדול פסקת השמר, אבל מה נראה תשים ממליך, מה כוסה וצבח כנף, והמשיך, ומכנו וחדך, ובית ישראל בגלל את מקריב, ואמרו אמן.
Amen, je heeft
ויסלה, שדיקות שבריך, אלא מקביחס ושירת, ושבחס ולחמת אדמי רבה, ואמרו אמן. תקבל סרסד ובעשר לכל בית ישראל, כבר וישמעיה, ואמרו אמן. יש לומר הרב וישמעיה, וכתבים עליהם כל סביב, אמן. עושה שלום, אמרו מוות, שלום עלינו, וכל ישראל, ואמרו
אנחנו
כן, כמה אחד אני אלה, אני נראה
שהוא נוי תשמע, יועצת עלי העצם, לא יש לנו כל היבט, שמיים עם הער, שכנו עושים כפלנו. הורינו אלוהי, דמזכינו וזבוזק וזבוזק ודעת היין, שבו יצרו ואחר, וננו יהודים, השמיים עם הער, die Oom Almaaien die is barrig. Amen. Ja, maar hoeveel shell gooien al die aan die nu nog ik een kost op zo terug had een gimmoy voor een boy. Ja, maar de hoya en de nul van de